Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 46 of our Get Your Goals annual challenge. I'm going to sneeze. Sorry about that. I felt it coming. Today we're going to talk about letting go of things that no longer serve you. I'm going to share 8 different exercises or things that you can do really, really quickly to figure out what it is that you want to let go of. Since we're focusing on emotional well-being this month, let's think with respect to emotions that don't serve us, emotions that don't make us feel good. Things that make us feel good, we want to do more of. Things that make us feel bad, we want to do less of. And that applies to everything in our life, but especially in the area of feelings and emotions. If we catch ourselves feeling sad or angry or upset or jealous or envious or frustrated or irritated or impatient all the time, those are probably emotions that don't feel good to us, but they also probably aren't serving us because the things that don't feel good to us are not for us. So I found 8 little exercises or 8 questions really that you can ask yourself to figure out what are the things, what are the emotions you want to release and let go of. And then tomorrow we'll talk about strategies for doing that, because it doesn't do any good to identify something if we're not going to go ahead and get rid of it. Now, keep in mind, you can always use the SOAP framework to clean those things up in your life, right? And to get the goals and get the things that you want. But what are some of these strategies? Well, we all go through different phases and stages in our life. Sometimes, what was important to me as a child isn't necessarily important to me nowadays, especially except for the things that are core to my being, my core values. And we've talked about those and identified what our core values are. And one of the things I love about core values is they help us filter out all of the other noise and things that are trying to get our attention that aren't for us. There's so many options in the world. We have to have a way to filter out what is important to us and what isn't. So we want to think about our life, the life stages, the different life stages we go through, and the things that we want to bring along with us, and then let go of the rest. It's like, how many people are you still friends with from grade school? How about high school? How about college, if you attended college or trade school, or if you were part of a different organization, a different job? If I think back to the different companies I worked for in corporate America, I was, really good friends and close to people at the time. But once I left that organization, I left that stage of my life and career and created and made a whole new group of associates and friends that I interacted with. So we want to think about the different life stages that we go through. The second exercise is to write letters to significant people in your past. You don't have to send them, although it's a good idea to let people know that they had a positive impact on you and that you appreciate them or appreciated them. The third exercise is to think about desire versus duty. It's like shoulds versus musts versus want to versus have to versus things like that. It's a way of categorizing the things that come up, the emotions that we feel, and say, do I really have to be angry about this? No, anger is always a choice, right? Do I really have to be envious of the person that got the promotion at work? Or can I be happy for them, knowing that my time will come too? So, desire versus duty, or what I want to do, what I'm interested in, what I'm drawn to, versus what I think other people expect of me. Number 4, write out your internal monologue. Boy, this is a hard one to do, but it's really, really powerful, because when we start writing out the voice in our head, when it comes to the things that lead up to our triggers, it's a great way to identify our triggers and why we feel different emotions or we experience different feelings. Writing out the dialogue in our head helps us to identify those things. It's a hard, but it's a fun exercise. Don't skip anything, write it all down, and then you can always burn it. Number 5, take inventory. Take a personal inventory of the different aspects of yourself, especially with respect to emotions. What emotions do you call on most often? Is it happiness or is it sadness? Is it something in between? Is it just meh? Are you just blah, middle of the road, average about everything? You don't feel strongly one way or another. That's an indication that things aren't really set up for you as well. So take an inventory of your skills, your abilities, your likes, your dislikes, everything in your life your assets, your liabilities, everything that makes you you right now. And remember, the you are right now isn't the you're going to be a year from now, right? Not necessarily if you choose to make changes and things. So take a personal inventory. Number 6, focus on the things you love and realize it's absolutely okay to say no to and choose not to participate in the things that don't feel good to you and the things that you don't love. And there's things we like, there's things we tolerate, there's things we absolutely love and are passionate about. There's things we really can't stomach and can't stand. And I hate to say hate, but we hate. Number 7, that was a very long drawn out, I apologize. Weed your garden, meaning, and this is a tough one for most of us, pluck out the things that no longer serve you. That means negative habits, negative people, or people that make you feel bad or less than or not good enough or in any way, shape, or form negative. Weed those things out, weed those people out. And by weeding, if they're your, family members or significant other, you don't necessarily kill those weeds with weed killer, but you choose to participate less with them. You don't spend as much time. You don't pay attention to the things that they say that affect you negatively, etc. You buffer yourself, and really you do separate yourself from them ultimately. And then 8, think about enjoyment versus value. There's things that we enjoy and value. There's things we enjoy, but we don't really value. We don't really, give them a lot of importance in our life. And then there's things that we value very, very highly, but we might not enjoy. I value having a clean and tidy environment, but I don't enjoy I don't enjoy housework, for example. So think in terms of that. So what are we going to do today for our exercise? We're just going to start thinking about letting go of things that don't serve us, right? And it could be, we're speaking specifically with respect to emotions today. I used to spend so much of my life in running my own businesses and sometimes in corporate America, being frustrated about things. And I realized that frustration was me expecting things to be different than they actually were. And instead of just saying, okay, this is the situation right now, what are we going to do about it? Because it's not the way I want it. I would get frustrated because I expected things to be different. I expected people to be doing what they said they were going to do. I expected work to be done in the right way, in a timely manner, etc. And it wasn't, it just always wasn't, because things happen all the time. And so instead of expecting everybody to be perfectly the way I wanted them to be, I just started to see what the situation was, look at people, take them on face value or what with respect to the situation. And then instead of being frustrated, help them and coach them into the behaviors that I wanted to see more often, right? So we set up processes and systems to make things easy and automatic for people. And then my expectations were met a lot more frequently because we had a system in place to handle it. And it was usually a system thing, not a person thing, right? They didn't have the information they needed, or they hadn't been trained fully, etc. So today, just pick one of these possible exercises when you notice that you're experiencing an emotion that you would consider less than optimum, maybe negative, or that made you feel bad. Maybe somebody hurts your feelings today, and run it through one of these filters and one of these exercises and say, maybe that's somebody I need to weed out because they are not very kind or nice to me, and that makes me feel bad, and I don't want to feel bad, so I'm going to stay away from them. If you've ever had a bully, and most of us have, sad but true, at some time in our lifetime, and that you either meet that person head on and deal with them and tell them to knock it off, you're not their victim, or you find ways to not be around them ever, or not be impacted by them. And the thing is, with bullies, they'll just find somebody else. It's sad but true. And that's why I always like to confront bullies, because I'm like, okay, well, if you think you can bully me, you got another thing coming. So, all right, that is our topic for today. Again, tomorrow, I changed my mind before I started talking today. I was going to talk about some strategies, and I'm like, no. Let's talk about different exercises we can do to identify things that we want to let go of, and then let's do it. I've had some major fun doing letting go strategies, of literally physical letting go strategies of beliefs and feelings and thoughts and emotions that I didn't want to experience anymore. So I'll share some of those strategies tomorrow. Any questions? Hit me up. Otherwise, have fun with this. These exercises are supposed to feel good and be fun. So pick one that feels good to you or resonates with you and do that one. And if you really feel motivated, do them all. Try them all on for size, and then you'll know going forward what is a great tool in your toolbox that you can use whenever you experience something that you're like, yeah, I didn't like that. How am I going to let that go? Because we don't want to bring those things with us. So often as humans, we take it and we have an experience, and it's maybe a 30-second to 2-minute to 10-minute experience, and we relive that literally hundreds or thousands of times in our mind. And every time we relive that, we reinforce the negative feeling that we had from it. Do we really want to do that? I say a resounding no. At least I don't want to do that anymore. All right, have an awesome day. I'll, of course,